Electrochemistry. We're going to talk about electron transferring reactions. Reactions where we're mostly concerned about an electron moving from one substance to another. And when we do that, we will have oxidation and we will have reduction. One of the substances in the reaction will be oxidized, one will be reduced. Now, let's talk about what oxidation is and what reduction is. Oxidation comes from the idea that we add oxygen to something, that substance is now oxidized. Now, there's actually more than just adding oxygen to a substance that could perform oxidation, but this predates a lot of times when we really understood what electrons were, and so the name has stuck. So what actually is oxidation? Well, in a more modern sense, and since we understand what electrons are and we express things in terms of electrons, this is the loss of electrons. When we lose an electron, that substance has been oxidized. And for reduction, we're reducing the oxidation number, so we will be gaining electrons. Now, since we have any of these reactions are not destroying electrons or creating electrons, whenever we have oxidation, we will have to have an equal amount of reduction somewhere in our reaction. Same thing with reduction. We cannot have reduction without something somewhere being oxidized. These go hand in hand with each other. They're equal and they're opposite of each other. With that in mind, there's a few other terms that we should talk about. There's so-called oxidation agents and reduction agents or reducing agents. Now, reducing agents are things that give electrons away, and so they are themselves oxidized, and they will cause another substance to be reduced. That's why it's called a reducing agent. It's what's causing the reduction. Well, to cause reduction, you'll have to lose electrons. So reducing agents fall under this category of oxidation. Since they will be giving away the electrons to cause the reduction of something else. There's also oxidizing agents. Oxidizing agents are themselves reduced because they will take electrons from something else. Things like fluorine or oxygen are very good oxidizing agents. And things like sodium metal or potassium metal are pretty good reducing agents. Now, this is just a little introduction to electrochemistry. Next, we'll talk about oxidation numbers and we'll review how to assign those, because we should be able to quantify how much reduction and how much oxidation is happening during a reaction. And when we're balancing chemical reactions, it can be useful to keep track of the oxidation numbers when we want to know how much of one thing would get used up versus another. Good idea is to look at the oxidation number, and then you can see, oh, this one would gain 2 electrons or that one would lose 1. And then we could figure out the stoichiometry. So these are useful things to keep in mind. And again, this is just the language that we're going to use to describe this.